Have you ever felt so stuck on getting women to meet your needs that it occupied nearly every free moment of time? Well, that was me a couple years ago. I was a few years out from my divorce, and when I wasn't working or parenting, I was thinking about dating or sex. I felt a chronic hunger for women that really had been there since forever. So I decided it was time to get off that hamster wheel. I hit the ultimate reset button, the nuclear option. I quit women for 9 months. Welcome to the Nice Guy Show. I'm your host, Ari Graff, and joined by my co hosts, Faisal and Chuck. The three of us are coaches dedicated to helping nice guys because we are recovering nice guys ourselves. Together, we have decades of experience helping men level up. Our mission is to help men develop the confidence and the skills to get the love, sex, and success that they desire. So, what do I mean when I say I quit women? I did what you could call a fast, or what John Wineland, the coach, has called the feminine cleanse. So, what is a fast from women? I'm going to define this as a conscious, intentional process where a man stops looking to women to meet their emotional and sexual needs. You could be single and do this or in a relationship, but the purpose is for the man to have an opportunity to observe how he relates to women, reflect on what he needs, reflect on what he was getting met through women, practice getting his needs met in other ways through his own practices or from his relationships with other men, to develop greater confidence in himself, and to learn that he's not captive to women to feel nourished and fulfilled. What is not a fast from women? It's not a fast if you're just in between relationships and you don't have a girlfriend or you're just not getting any sex. It's not a fast if you just got real busy with work and didn't have time for women. It's not a fast if you're swearing off women in an angry way, if you're operating under the belief that women withhold sex from men, like an incel does. So a fast from women is a way to value yourself and learn about yourself. It's ultimately a route to having more conscious relationships with women. This is how I would define it. So, Chuck, have you ever done a fast from women, and why'd you do it?
Um, yes and no. I didn't do it consciously because I didn't know about the feminine cleanse before I got married. But there was a period of time in which I was single and focusing on working on myself. I I know a lot about the feminine fast from a lot of guys that I know have gone through it, and my work with John Wineland because that's one of the things he talks about. And I find that the feminine fat. What I wish, like, I would have known about this after my divorce. It would have saved me so much pain and misery and suffering if I had just known about this idea of the feminine fast.
Why?
Because,
What do you think it would have done?
well, for one thing, I think it would have really helped me reset because, I was, when I look back on my divorce, I was always in a relationship. I was, girlfriend to girlfriend to girlfriend to getting married, being in a relationship for a long term, finding, breaking up and then jumping into another relationship right away. And then that, imploding on itself. And it would have saved me a lot of pain and misery and probably other people as well. Definitely other people as well. Because what it would have done is given me a chance to really separate out like what I was seeking because I was really, as an anxious attacher, I was anxious and I wanted to attach again. And and I think what the feminine cleanse or the feminine break or feminine fast does is it gets you into a detox type of situation. So just like you would detox from any other addiction, alcohol, whatever, it takes those first, few weeks, months to really get that out of your system and get your brain chemistry back online. And essentially, fasting from women is one of the big benefits is that it gets your brain chemistry balanced out because nice guys are addicted to oxytocin, that feeling of connection, and they seek that out. And so we're really addicted to a neurochemical, oxytocin. And when our brain isn't getting that, it's going through withdrawal, and then we have this impulse and this need to seek out the connection with the feminine. So in part, I think what it does is it detox. Once you detox, then I think what happens is you're able to really start seeing yourself, your own patterns, what comes up for you, and then be able to date consciously. What did you find when you did your feminine or your fast?
I'll tell you guys. I want to hear from Faisal first.
Okay.
Faisal, have you done a feminine cleanse yourself?
So I kind of unconsciously did this after my divorce, and I was hadn't started personal development then. I was very new to this, and so what I did was just said, after my divorce, I'm just going to focus on me and my growth, and that was my awakening time. And I just focused on me. I didn't fully do it like a complete fast. I was still there, still interested in women, and just like most, I would say, feminine men or nice guys, I was so focused on the feminine, like getting women, the attention, the approval, the seeking, and your central system, your central life is all focused, on women. You dream about women, you fantasize of women, everything, like your whole world revolves so much focused on women, and that's where I was, and so I needed that constant, like you said, Chuck, that constant oxytocin. I needed that attention all the time. And I remember even when I was doing my training and I was coaching men and women, I loved coaching women because I got a lot of attention from that. And I had some resistance moving just to men's coaching. I was like, oh, I want to get any, I want to have access to women. I want to get their attention, their needs. So there was some resistance there. And I have to say, it's probably one of the most helpful things I've ever done in my life, like more empowering things I've done in my life, is to go on a feminine detox. And I'm a big fan of fasting itself, like food fasting. And I see the benefits of that. And I can see a huge benefit of just, the feminine detox, the feminine junk.
Right. So I think you're bringing up there's subtle ways that we may be getting our needs met from women, even just having women clients or being in the workplace, that kind of attention or even flirtation.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just like little scraps of attention, little scraps of something, even if you're going on social media and you're just looking constantly at women, or you're going out and now it's becoming, warm and hot in the summer in the UK, all the women are, you know, dressed next to nothing, and you just see all these women, and you're just leering at women all the time, and the guys are, I know women know what they're doing, and the guys are like, can't get enough of that. Again, that's just the feminine, ruling your life.
If you see a man leering in the UK, you know who it is. Um, so yeah, I'll say a little bit more about my feminine cleanse, uh, which is not a douche, but it sounds like one. So yeah, I got divorced about 5 years ago, and I came out of the divorce feeling somewhat humiliated, and I really wanted to have some different types of relationships with women, and I started getting those relationships. Um, getting that polarity in my relationships, and it was fun. It was pleasurable. But what I did was I filled up all my free time that I wasn't working or parenting with women. Getting the attention of women, or dating, spending time with a girlfriend if I had one. If I didn't have one, I was focused on getting one. So what I wasn't doing, and I realized this after, I learned more of Dr. Glover's ideas, like about the great cake of a life, that I wasn't making time for, things like tapping into my purpose. Like I realized I had some important business goals. I realized that I wasn't building the male friendships that I needed. I wasn't saving time for a hobby. I wasn't working on my parenting as much. So there was all these goals that I was neglecting somewhat. And I needed to free up some time and energy. And I also realized that I was still being a nice guy in some ways with the women that I was dating. Even just that chronic hunger for women, that's a nice guy thing. So I needed to focus on getting my needs met in other ways through my own practices or through other men. So I realized that it might be time to hit the reset button. And that's what I did at the top of 2022. And I said, okay, I'm going to do this for a month. I didn't do 3 months or 6 months, which is what like Dr. Glover or John Wineland suggest. I did it for 1 month. Let's see how this feels. Let's get rid of the dating apps and let's focus on some big goals. And that's when I started to make progress towards this goal of opening a coaching practice in addition to a therapy practice. And I also had that goal of quitting my hospital job and building up, some other friendships. And that was the year that I really made progress on that. So I started my coaching practice. I stopped working with women. I wanted to focus on just men and just nice guys. So I niched down. I got to work with Dr. Glover, assisting him with a men's group. I got to be part of the Integration Nation project. So all of that happened that year because I went all in on myself. So that's a way to think about it, because the feminine cleanse, the quitting women can feel depriving. But think about it as you're going all in on yourself. And this is a way to build confidence in yourself in a way that you may have never experienced. Because really, ever since I discovered women in puberty, I've been obsessed with them. So that's 30 years. So this was a new experience, and it was confidence building, to go off women and to feel good. You'll be surprised that you might feel better than you ever have before if you actually do this. So there's so much to gain, and there's so much time and energy that you will free up if you try this out, and you can do it month by month. But you want to do it in a conscious way, not willy nilly, and no pun intended. And involve other men. You know, let them know what you're working on, and ask for help with accountability and support from them.
Yeah.
You're not alone in this.
Mhm. Yeah.
As you were saying that, I was like, yes, yes, yes. There's it's empowering in so many the way, because the feminine, the one of the benefits of the feminine cleanse is you're not so desperate, thirsty for women. So you're more, like you said, we become obsessed, focused just on getting women, the women, that we start to neglect. Like you said, we neglect our parenting, our schedules, what we need to do in the world. We're so focused on being central to women that we just forget everything else. So I love the fact that you could really
Mm.
focus on the deeper part of it, and you get a lot of fulfillment from that.
Yeah. And I think that the other thing is, like, what you're really developing is a consciousness and awareness of your patterns. I was speaking with a client the other day, and he was telling me about his interaction with a colleague, and he felt himself wanting to continue the conversation because it felt good, and he was realizing that he was getting this validation from her. So even though it came to this natural ending point, he was aware that he wanted to continue this conversation with her because he was getting an emotional hit from her. So these can be things like if you're going to a coffee shop and there's the cute barista, and you kind of go there and you know you're getting a hit from the feminine. So once you become conscious of that, okay, and the idea then isn't that you just isolate. The idea is that you nurture yourself with the masculine. So that's where you get involved with men's groups, you get a coach, you get a therapist, you get somebody in your life that is helping you rebuild your masculine energy. And at the same time, you're detoxing from that feminine part of yourself. You're recognizing your patterns, your habits, and your behaviors. And then you're conscious about that so that you can become aware of your intentions and aware of how you seek the validation from the feminine. And whenever we seek validation from the feminine, we are actually in our feminine.
Chuck, I want to just share something that came up for me. It's when I started to go out, improving my, social skills, going out, you know, meeting women, connecting with women. What I noticed was that in myself and the other guys as well, especially the guys, who do the pickup stuff as well. What I noticed was, you know, going out, if the evening or the interaction didn't include a really hot girl, it'd be like, oh, that was really bad day or
Mm-hmm.
bad evening or something like that. And what happened was, the night would only be good if they got a
Mm-hmm.
number or something. That was
Yep.
like, I needed that woman to validate the fact that I had a really good night because she gave me attention. And I
That
was
was
what I
what
was doing
success is.
was,
Yeah.
yeah, I needed to that. And what happened was, you're missing out on the connection. I was missing out on the connection, going out with my
Mm-hmm.
friends, having a laugh,
Right.
meeting new people. And what the what I saw was like, it can only be good if it's with a hot girl. Otherwise,
Mm-hmm.
even if it's an average girl, no, it doesn't count. It had to be in that certain way. So that was a real, eye opener to see that, my own addiction to wanting the hot girl, as well
Mm-hmm.
as, that, couldn't enjoy myself otherwise.
Yeah, that's a great point.
Right. This is teaching you a different way to value yourself and the things in your life. And this idea that we can be filled up by men. Insert joke here. Um, but it's true. You really can feel emotionally nurtured by men, and you really need to practice that to become an integrated man.
Absolutely.
I wanted to say, some people are probably wondering, so when do I know that the feminine cleanse is over, or how do I decide that? So, there isn't a right answer for this. I think, a month may not be enough time to really hit the reset button. You can take it month by month, but another thing you can do as a nice guy here is to really trust your gut. Have I done what I went into the fast to do? Which, for me, the fast that I mentioned, um, I wanted to make progress on my big business goals, and I did that. So that was important to me on my feminine cleanse. That I cleared my mental desktop in order to focus on my purpose, what was important to me. That might not be part of why you do your feminine cleanse, but it was important for me, that I could devote my energy to something else. Um, what you'll find is, there's you might end your feminine cleanse and fall right back into some of your old habits, and that's in fact what I found after I went back into dating, after the 9 month cleanse, is that I still had some of that neediness, um, but I was more observant of it, and I actually did another cleanse the following year. I did it for 5 months because I realized, okay, you know what? There's some additional business goals that I wanted to pursue, and so this was a practice I could go back into, because I knew this would help me get really focused. So this is a new power that I can tap into. So you may do more than one. Um, what do you guys think in terms of ending a feminine cleanse?
I think for that one, you guys need to just figure out with a coach as well where you are. I think this is where you need support as well. And
Okay.
speaking of ending, we need to end this show as well, Ari.
All right. Let me give you a happy ending. Um, so if you're doing a feminine cleanse, think about your goals, reflect on, what you get from women already. Ref, um, Set an initial time goal, reevaluate that over time. If you have a partner, tell them the parameters of what your fast is going to be. Know that you're going to feel hungry at times during your fast. Practice meeting your needs in other ways. Check in with your gut to know when it's over, Remember, you can always hit the reset button, do another fast. So thanks again for being a part of the Nice Guy Show. Please, if you're watching this on YouTube, remember to like and subscribe, as this helps us to reach out to more men who need support. If you're listening to us on your favorite podcast platform, make sure to subscribe there as well. Go to niceguyshow.com to get on the mailing list. If you like this podcast, check out episode number 26, Nice Guys Take Women Off the Pedestal. So thanks, everybody.
You've been listening to The Nice Guy Show with certified Nice Guy recovery coaches Ari Graff, Chuck Chapman, and Faisal Kokar. Be sure to subscribe to this channel so you can listen to our latest episodes and visit us on www.theniceguyShow.com. If you have any topics you'd like to hear us discuss, send us an email at support@theniceguyShow.com. Thanks for listening.